Hola, Nicola. Okay, there's a big class we have here. It looks like there are about 7 of us so far. We may have other students join us, but I'd love to get started. I'm just going to do a quick attendance, and when I call your name, can you please tell me here in Spanish by saying aquí, and it's spelled like this. I'm going to post it in the Zoom chat. Aquí, aquí. Nicola, Peyton, Ashton. Peyton, can you say that out loud for me? Aquí.
Aquí.
Gracias. Mercedes. Can you say aquí, Mercedes? Which means here.
Yeah, aquí.
Gracias. Kennedy.
Aquí.
Maddie.
Aquí.
Gracias. Did I say Ashton already?
No.
Ashton.
Aquí.
Gracias. And Courtney. Courtney, are you there? So unmute yourself. At the bottom of your Zoom, if you scroll your mouse down, you should have a mute or a microphone that you click on to unmute yourself. Courtney, can you hear me? And where is Jaden? Is Jaden? Jaden, can you say aquí? Jaden, can you say aquí? Jaden, are you able to hear me too? Okay, Jaden and Courtney, I'm not sure if you guys can hear me, so please try and talk.
I can hear you.
Okay, thanks, Courtney. Can you say aquí?
Aquí.
Gracias, awesome. And Jaden, I'm hoping that you can hear me too. I'm just going to type in the chat box if you can or not. Hey, boys and girls, I'd love to pray to get started with our class. Please close your eyes and we'll say a little prayer to God. Dear Jesus, thank you so much for this day. Thank you that we can get together and learn and be with you also, God. Please help us to learn lots of Spanish and enjoy doing it while we do it. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, so thank you so much. If you guys could have a seat, I will say have a seat in Spanish, siéntate, siéntate. And you have a seat. If you don't remember, you just click on whatever you want to sit in 3DU, and you can sit in there. And then zoom into your lesson. Okay, I'm glad you can hear me. Can you start speaking, Jaden? Yeah, I can't hear you very well. I'm wondering if in Zoom there's a setting in your mic or your mute. There's a little arrow right beside it that you might be able to change your microphone setting. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my video in Zoom because I forgot. And that always has to go off when we're in 3DU. Well, I guess, can you guys please remind me if you were the class that I did give directions to do the scavenger hunt with? Yeah, you guys did your scavenger hunt. If you were able to complete it and write down your answers, can you guys bring out your answers, por favor?
No, I never did it.
That's okay, Ashton. If you did do it, who did do it? Who was able to write down their answers and complete it?
I did part of it, but then my 3U stopped working for a bit, so I couldn't go back in.
Oh, can you go back in today, though?
Yeah, I can now.
Oh, good. Okay, so maybe you can bring out what you have anyways. Who else has some scavenger hunt answers for them to share?
I do.
Okay, awesome, Mercedes. Bring yours out too. We'll get a few of you to share your answers. Jaden, what was it that you didn't understand? Yeah, so maybe that was my fault in explaining it very quickly at the end of the class. But what we did, guys, was there was someone in the 3DU office, and if you click on the avatar, then they will be saying a Spanish word to you, and you write down that Spanish word. That's your answer. And then in the chat box in 3DU, they give you directions to your next location. Was there anyone else who was able to complete that? Okay, so if you didn't complete it, then that's going to be part of your homework for this week. Please ask me if you have any questions about it, and if it's still confusing for you. But it's a way.
I didn't get the assignment for that.
Oh, you didn't. You didn't get it in the homework email. Okay, that will be in this week's. That will be your assignment for this week then. So I'll have it in the homework email for this week.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome, guys. Maybe we can start with Kennedy. Can you share what you have for like the first couple, the first two? Why don't you?
Say them out loud?
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and say the Spanish words that you found?
Okay. So I think how you say it. This one is
Buenos dias. Good, good. Buenos dias. And what does that mean, you guys? Do you remember? Who can tell me what buenos dias means? Who can tell me what buenos dias means? So buenos dias. Pardon?
It means good morning.
It can, yeah. Good morning, good day. Oops, I spelled it half English there by accident. Buenos. Buenos means good. Dias means day. So quietly in your house, not in your mics, but everyone say buenos dias. Say it again quietly in your house. Buenos dias. And that's a really nice greeting. And I love when my students come into class and they can greet me in Spanish, and you can say something like buenos dias if you would like. Awesome. And then what else did you get, Kennedy?
And I got one. I don't know if it was cut off, but I just got Ola.
Hola. Boys and girls, type in the chat box if you know what hola means. Tell me in English. Jaden says hello. Sí, perfecto. Kennedy says hello. Hola says hello. So say quietly in your house, hola. Hola. And that's something that you can use in class all the time. Peyton says hello. That's exactly right. Muy bien. Very good. Nicola's got it. See, Ashton.
It's Mercedes.
Oh, sorry.
I can see Avatar now.
Oh, good. I'm so happy to hear. So that problem is solved.
Yeah.
Did you have to do anything or just restart your computer?
I'm not really sure. We loaded the program first before we loaded Zoom.
Uh-huh. Interesting. Okay, well, I hope it sticks around. I hope you can still see avatars for next week, too. Let me know if there's a problem with that, but I'm so happy to hear that the problem is solved now. Good. And, Kennedy, did you get a third one?
Yeah, and then I got all the, yeah, I don't really know what that is. Like, hello, my friend. So, I don't know.
Mi amigo?
Yeah.
Mi amigo. Mi amigo. Does anybody in the class know what mi amigo means? Me means my, and amigo means friend. My friend. Good, Mercedes. Muy bien. Very good. So in your class, quietly, go ahead and say, mi amigo. Mi amigo. And can I get Courtney to say out loud, mi amigo?
Mi amigo.
Gracias. I just see your note, Courtney, that your web box is still not opening. When you click that globe, can you remind me, does anything come up at all when you click the globe box? Yeah, that's right, Kennedy. It's hello, my friend. Hola, mi amigo. Hola, mi amigo. Hello, my friend. That's something that you can use to address your friends too when you come to class. Or even when you're out with your friends, I definitely encourage you guys to use what you're learning in the real world. That's going to really help you remember. You can talk to your family and friends in Spanish. Yeah. Sorry, Courtney, go ahead. What did you say, Courtney?
My web just started working.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Looks like all the problems are solving themselves. I love when that happens. Okay, guys. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at our lesson now for the day. Sorry, Mercedes, did you have some to share for your answers? Did you have any other answers for your scavenger hunt?
Have we not answered 3 and 4 yet? Or like the last 2 ones?
The last one was mi amigo.
So yeah, I have the second one that I saw was Hola Mesa Llamo Jose.
Me llamo. That's a really good one too. So this was her other answer. This is like new vocabulary for us to learn, so it's good. So me llamo. Does anyone remember what that means? Me llamo. So it's actually my name is, or if it's a literal translation, it's they call me. Llamo means I call, and or I call myself. Llamo means I call, and me means me or myself. So if I wanted to say my name, I could say me llamo Senorita Donovan. Me llamo Senorita Donovan. Does anyone want to volunteer telling me what they call themselves?
I will.
Go ahead, Mercedes.
Okay. Do I say it out loud?
Sure. Out loud is always good.
Me llamo Mercedes.
Nice.
Me
And
llamo Mercedes.
yeah, and can you say me? Me llamo. Perfect. Does anyone else want to volunteer? Ashton, how about you say me llamo Ashton?
Me llamo Ashton.
Muchas gracias. And if you guys want to say your name out loud in your house, wherever you are, go ahead and do it. Me llamo Senorita Donovan. Me llamo Jade. Me llamo Nicola. Good. Was there anything else you had, Mercedes?
Well, I had Hola when Ben Benito. Did we already say that?
No, that's a good one. So hola means hello, and then bienvenido. Oh my goodness, I have that written on one of my boards in my classroom here. You see that? Bienvenidos.
Oh yeah.
Bienvenidos. Does anyone remember what bienvenidos or bienvenido means? Any guesses? Welcome. Yes, sí, muy bien, Mercedes. It means welcome. So, bienvenidos. That's like when I'm saying welcome to a whole bunch of people. Just like in English, when we have an S at the end of our words, usually it means it's plural. So there's more than one of you that I'm welcoming. Bienvenido You can say when you're welcoming one person. So quietly, wherever you are, not in your mics, go ahead and say bienvenido. Yeah, just quietly, not in your mics quite yet, but bienvenido. So that's how you welcome somebody. Can I get Peyton to say bienvenido out loud, por favor, please?
Bienvenido. Bienvenido.
Good job, Peyton. Muy bien. Very good. And can I get Maddie to say bienvenido? Maddie, are you there? Okay, maybe I'll get, who hasn't spoken very much yet?
Yes.
Oh, there you are, Maddie. Can you say bienvenido?
Bienvenido.
See, good. I like how you slowed down a little bit. Sometimes when we have big words, it's nice to break them up into pieces. So bien and then venido. It's okay to break up the words into two parts if that helps you read it out. And don't worry about going too quickly. You can always slow down. Bienvenido. Muy bien. Maybe we'll move on now. Thank you so much, muchas gracias, for sharing the answers to the scavenger hunt. So let me remind you that that will be your homework, and you've been already given some answers and their meanings, but come to class with those two for next week. That will be in your homework. I have also posted the lesson in the Zoom chat box if you want to open it up that way. Sometimes when it's in the PowerPoint screen, it runs a little bit slowly, so I like to have it open in a separate document. Yeah, question?
I didn't make out what our homework was.
Sorry, you're cutting out. Can you repeat that?
I didn't make out what our homework was.
For last week?
Oh, for this week.
Oh, yeah, so at the end of... No worries, so I'll go over that again at the end of the lesson. I always go over our homework at the end. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so let's start looking at the lesson. So everyone should be looking at the very top where it says bienvenidos, and we all know that means welcome. A, which means to, Virtual World Spanish Level 1. Continuing down, la fecha means the date. And if you see here, you can see what month it is, and that's the Spanish word for what?
Where does it say that?
Are you looking at the lesson right now?
Is it on the board?
Yeah, so once you're sitting in your seat, you can click zoom in by the board.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's at the very top.
September.
September! Yeah, so septiembre. Septiembre. So can I get Mercedes to say septiembre?
Septiembre.
Sí, perfect. And I like the accent on your bre you did there. Yeah, so September is septiembre. Say it out loud in your house quietly, not in the mics, but good personal practice. Septiembre. Say it again. Septiembre. And 24th, 2019. I'm just going to ask that everybody turns off their mics in Zoom. And unless you have a question or I've called on you to do some out loud practice, it's good to have it off. So Jaden, can you go ahead and turn off your mic in Zoom, por favor? Gracias. Thank you. Buenas tardes. So good afternoon. Now that you've familiarized yourself with how to use some important features in 3DU, you guys all made your avatars, you learned how to move around in 3DU, save teleports. Hopefully you found some really cool places to explore. And if you didn't, you can continue doing that, saving teleports to places that you love. We're going to look at Spanish-speaking countries today. Spanish alphabet sounds, and that's kind of going back to the basics of learning how to learn a language. Alphabet sounds in English is not the same as in Spanish, and we'll learn why today. And then we're going to look at Spanish words that are similar to English words. So we already looked at septiembre, which is September. So we're going to look at words that are a lot of like, and I feel like that's a good place to start when we're learning a language. It helps you remember. And then I'm going to send you off with a little bit of homework, as usual, for you to complete during the rest of the week. So, question for you, boys and girls. Pregunta, a question. Do you know how many Spanish-speaking countries there are in the world? Yes. ¿Cuántos? How many Spanish-speaking countries do you think there are? What do you think?
Maybe 15 or more than 10.
15, more than 10. That's a good answer. Yeah, it's close. There are actually 22 Spanish-speaking countries in the world. So that means that their primary or their main language is Spanish. Another cool fact that I know is that Spanish is the second most popular language in the world. And what's the first popular language? What's the first most popular language?
French.
Close. What are we speaking right now?
English.
English. English is actually the most popular, interestingly enough. See, Courtney. And yeah, so we have a lot of Spanish-speaking countries too. So if you like to travel or if you like to know people in the world, a lot of people speak that language in a lot of different places. So you could imagine how learning this language might be kind of valuable for you to have relationships with other people in the world. So yeah, it's a lot, Mercedes, for sure. How many countries can you name that speak Spanish? So if you scroll down, I've provided a map, and that might give you a clue if you know your geography and your countries. What countries speak Spanish on our map here? So Courtney said Spain, C, Mexico, C, Mexico, some Central American countries, yeah. What else do you think? What are some other Spanish-speaking countries, boys and girls? Go ahead and type it in the chat box. You can think of other ones. See, Mercedes. Peru? Definitely. Do you guys know any other Spanish-speaking countries? Who's been to Mexico before?
I have.
Jaden has?
Yeah.
Oh, lucky. Mexican places are so beautiful. Mercedes has too. Has anyone else been to Mexico? Oh, Ashton says Chile. Ashton says that Spanish speakers are in Chile. See? There are lots of places. One of the places that I want to visit soon is called Argentina or Argentina. There's a place called Cuba that speaks. Jaden says he went to Puerto Vallarta. What country is that in, Jaden? What country is Puerto Vallarta in?
Mexico.
Mexico. Good job. Mercedes says Colombia too. There's Cuba. I'm actually going to Cuba in December, and I'm very excited. So there are a lot of beautiful places. And what's the climate like in a lot of these countries? What's the weather like, do you think? Hot. See. Paraguay. See? Yeah, that's another country that speaks Spanish. It's hot and it's beautiful. Hot, hot, hot. We have in the chat box. See, and it's close to the equator in the world, which is a place where everything is very warm. So that's great. And what do you think the food is like there? What kinds of things do you think they eat in a lot of Spanish-speaking countries? This can just be a guess. And I love that a lot of you are participating. If you haven't written much in the chat box, I encourage you to put your comments in the chat box when you think of it. And I love seeing everyone participate. Nicholas says tacos. See, Courtney says spicy. So yeah, a lot of the food is hot and spicy. Fish, burritos. See, I'm getting hungry. Jaden says he ate a potato like thing in a corn husk. Interesting. So they have some really creative, different food down there too. So that's another reason why you might want to travel, because you get to try all the different foods. Mexican food is amazing. Jalapenos, see, jalapenos are really spicy peppers that I love. They're really spicy though. So sometimes if you're cutting them up and then you put them in your eye, it can really burn you. So you gotta be careful. So they tend to eat a lot of spicy food in Mexican-speaking countries, or in Spanish-speaking countries. Now let's go back to our lesson here. I'm looking at the map, and so we see there's a ton of countries on the left side of our world here. So we have United States. It looks like there's a lot of Spanish-speaking people in the United States too. And then if you go down where you see Mexico down south, and then do you see that little skinny area on the left-hand side? So we have a whole bunch of little countries in there that speak Spanish, and then you'll go down to South America. And there's a big space in South America that doesn't speak Spanish. Oh, Courtney, the map's on our lesson. It's on our second page of our lesson. So you just got to scroll down. Do you see that?
Spain is just above the one and speaks Spanish is just above Africa.
It's very close to Africa, isn't it? Maybe I will share my screen, guys, just in case you're not sure where I'm looking on the lesson. It might be a good idea to do today. So I'm just going to share my screen in Zoom. So you should see what I'm looking at. And I'm looking at the map. Does everybody see that? So this is our Spanish-speaking countries. Where is Spanish spoken? Donde, where. Se habla is Spanish spoken. So se habla is spoken, and then español means Spanish. I'm looking all the way down. So we have America, United States is here. So you see there's a lot of Spanish-speaking people in this area. Mexico, more down to Central America here. And then this big area here, this is South America. So we have all these countries on the side. Does anyone know what this country is right here? This big country that doesn't speak Spanish? Who said Brazil?
I did, Mercedes.
Mercedes is right. So that's Brazil. What language do they speak in Brazil? Does anyone know? Not a lot of people always understand. Portuguese. Muy bien. So they don't speak Spanish. Portuguese is a little bit like Spanish. As you'll know, like a lot of the languages are kind of similar around this area.
My mom's Portuguese.
Cool. Have you been to Brazil?
No. But we've been to Portugal.
Awesome. Wow. So Portugal's on the other side, isn't it? Kind of around Spain right here. Good. Who likes to travel? Who likes to travel in this class?
Me.
Yeah. I love traveling. Me encanta traveling. I love it so much. So this is a picture here of a place called Costa Rica. Costa Rica is more in Central America. And look how beautiful it is. Que hermosa. How beautiful. And we have a lot of wildlife there. I love Costa Rica. Tons of plants, flowers, animals. So if you like to travel, I think it might be in your best interest to learn a little bit of Spanish, because you can go to places like this and talk to the locals.
We might go there and go surfing and stuff.
Awesome. That sounds so exciting. Yeah, I haven't been to Costa Rica yet, but it's definitely on the list. Sorry about that. Let's see. Oh, Jaden went to Puerto Vallarta, yeah. And there's a lot of students here in this class that might be traveling in their future. So now we're gonna go into some Spanish alphabet sounds. And this is super important because if you don't pronounce your words right, how's anyone gonna understand what you're saying? So in English, we have our letter sounds, and that means the way letters sound in words. So when we want to type in something like Spanish, so say I have the word Spanish in English, we know that the S makes the S sound, we know the P makes the P sound, A makes the A sound, N makes the N sound, I makes the E sound, H makes the H sound in English alphabet sounds. But in Spanish, our letters are a little bit different. I've written some really important ones here below for you to study and memorize the sounds of. And you'll learn that the more you learn the sounds of the letters, the better you're going to be able to speak Spanish. We'll learn why in a minute. A makes the sound ah. So go ahead and say ah. Say ah in your mics.
Ah. Ah.
Ah.
Ah makes the sound, or sorry, A makes the sound ah. And an example of that might be when we want to say bye in Spanish. So adios. Adios. Can I get Ashton to say adios? Can I stop sharing my screen, guys? And you can follow along on the lesson now, right? So guys, just before we continue, make sure that you're looking at the lesson at our vowel sounds, okay? And I will do it that way because then you can control your 3DU a little bit better in your Zoom, I think, because then you won't have my big shared screen right in front of you. Can I get Courtney to say adios instead?
Adios.
And Ashton, can you hear me? Can you try unmuting yourself? I just want to make sure that you can.
Yeah, I can hear you,
Okay.
but the scrolling down thing isn't working.
Oh, can you use your arrows on your keyboard?
Oh yeah, I figured it out.
Oh, good. All right, so go to where your vowels are, Spanish alphabet sounds. So A makes the A sound in all of your Spanish words. For instance, adios. We don't say adios, we say adios because of the A. When we have an E, our E's in Spanish make the A sound. So everyone in your mics out loud say A.
A. A.
A.
A.
A.
Yeah, good. And an example of that would be when we say the word Spanish in Spanish, which is español, español. And we're going to learn in a minute that, see that N that has that little squiggle on top? That's the N letter. And whenever you see that N, it makes the ñ sound. But go ahead quietly in your house, say español. Say it again quietly in your house. Español. That's the word Spanish. Can I get Kennedy to say español out loud?
Español.
Perfecto. Can I get Nicolette to say español out loud?
Español.
Good. Español. And it's kind of like this, we're retraining our mouths right now. So guys, don't be too hard on yourselves if you can't get it right off the bat. We're retraining our brains and our mouths, so it takes practice. But the more you speak it, the better it gets. Let's continue on. The I makes the E sound. Everyone say E. You can say E out loud on your mics too. Let me hear your E. E. Any good. Muy bien. Very good. So anytime you see an I in Spanish words, it makes the E sound. Super important. And an example we have are these words. So English in Español, in Spanish, is inglés. Inglés. Who would like to volunteer saying inglés out loud? Who would like to volunteer? Tell me in the chat box if you want to volunteer saying inglés out loud.
English.
Good, Courtney.
English.
Inglés. Inglés. And then how do you see this other word that we have after English? Who wants to volunteer telling me what that is? Who can guess?
English.
Inglés. Good, Ashton. What about the next word? Type in if you want to, yeah, okay, Mercedes, tell me what that word is that's after English. What's food in Spanish? Try and use our rule of the I.
Comida.
Nice try. Can you say comida?
Comida.
Comida. Sí, muy bien. Boys and girls, quietly in your house, repeat after me. Comida. Comida. And that means food. It's not comida, like we would say in English. Comida. Good. O makes the O sound. Everyone say in your mics. O.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Oh. Oh no.
Good. So it's pretty simple. In English, sometimes we would say aw in our words, but we don't in Spanish. Every O always makes the O sound. And here's an example. Color in Spanish is color. Say quietly in your house, color. Color. Can I get Maddie to say color?
Color.
Muy bien. Can I get Peyton to say color? Muchas gracias. Thank you very much. Can I get Jaden to say color?
Color.
Good. That's a similar word to the one in English, isn't it? We sound it out differently. We say color, but in Spanish it's color. Very good. And then let's look at that U vowel. Thanks so much for paying such close attention, guys. I know our brains might be getting a little bit full because mine actually is, but we have a little bit more to do, and then we only have 20 more minutes of class. You guys are doing great. The U makes the ooh sound. Everyone say ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. Say it out loud on your mics. Ooh.
Ooh.
Good.
Ooh.
Muy bien. Very good. And an example I have is university in Spanish. Notice how we say you in English, like you, university in English. But in Español, in Spanish, we have to go universidad. So let's try saying that one out loud in your house, not in your mics. Let's practice saying universidad. Say it again. Universidad. Can I get a volunteer to tell me what university is in Spanish? Who would like to volunteer? Tell me who wants to. Okay, go ahead, Kennedy.
Universidad.
Can you say it one more time, honey?
Universidad.
Muy bien. Very good. Does anyone else want to volunteer saying it?
Universidad.
Oh, how do you pronounce the U in it, though? So close.
Universidad.
Did you say universidad?
Said you.
Okay, so remember the U makes the oo. Makes the oo sound. So say it again, Jaden, by saying universidad.
Universidad.
Good. Yeah, it's a little bit different in Spanish, isn't it? And it will take some practice. And that's totally okay. That's what we're here for. Let's move on to some other cool letters. So I love Spanish letters. I think they're awesome. And here's some cool ones. So R, in the English sounding of R, we really make it go but in Spanish, it kind of has a soft sound. And I'll show you what I mean. It almost sounds like the D sound in our mouth when we say duh, duh. And I'll show you why that is. So when we say, if we were to say gracias in an English R sound, we would say gracias, gracias. But that doesn't sound very proper, does it? Instead, we use the R sound to be very soft on our tongue. And I'm actually putting my tongue at the beginning or the front of my mouth. And I go, gracias, gracias. And it almost sounds like a D. Gracias, gracias. And we're making a kind of a D sound for the R. Not gracias, but gracias. Does anyone want to try doing that? Mercedes, give it a try. Gracias, good. And whoever's mic is on, I think that's Jaden. Jaden, please turn off your mic. And Ashton too, muchas gracias. Good. And then if you guys want to say something, just make sure that you turn it on and then turn it off again, because there's lots of background noise sometimes. Good. So the R kind of sounds like a D sound. Another example is the word but. So I'm going to the store, but I forgot my money kind of thing. But in Spanish is actually pero. Pero. It's not pero, it's pero. Notice the soft D sound I'm using on my tongue when I say pero, pero. Who wants to volunteer to try saying pero? Give me someone who hasn't volunteered in a while. Go ahead, me or Peyton. Go ahead. Pero, pero. Say again. Pero. Good. Anyone else want to try? You can almost imagine the R being like a D. It sounds a little bit like an R, but it also sounds a lot like a D. Pero, pero. Gracias. Pero, gracias. Say out loud in your house quietly. Pero, pero. Say thank you in Spanish quietly. Gracias. Gracias. Very good. Muy bien. Oh my goodness, here's a really tricky one I want to teach you, but I really don't expect you to get it right away. But the double R's. The double R's are a really cool letter sound. Whenever you have a double R in a Spanish word, it makes the sound. Can anybody do with their tongue and roll their tongue?
I can.
Try rolling your tongue. Oh, who else can roll their tongue? It is a funny sound, and I really like it. So when you see double R, Courtney can roll her tongue too. Try rolling your tongue in the mic, Courtney. And to practice the rolling of the R's, you can just sit in your house and go. So I think you kind of put your tongue at the beginning of your mouth, or the front of your mouth, sorry, and you just kind of vibrate it up and down along your teeth. Kind of a strange one. And we use the roll of the tongue a little bit in Spanish. Just a little bit. Not like a crazy roll of the tongue. Not really loud and long. But for the word dog, we can practice with the word perro. Perro. So there's two R's in there. The word dog is perro. Quietly in your house, try and say perro and do a little roll of the tongue. And it's okay if you don't feel like you're doing it perfect. Just practice and try. Perro. Perro. Say it again. Perro. That means dog. Does anyone want to volunteer to say it out loud?
Perro.
Perro. Nice one, Jaden. Anybody else? Go ahead, Kennedy.
Perro.
Excelente, Kennedy. Muchas gracias. Guys, I just realized that when you're having fun, time flies, doesn't it? We're almost at the end of our class. I want to go right to homework now at the bottom of your lesson. So if you could please scroll down to the very bottom and stop when it says su tarea, your homework. Su tarea means your homework in Espanol, in Spanish. And I'm going to read this out to you, so please just be listening really carefully, okay? This week, please email me your homework when you've completed it. So always email me your homework. If ever you have an assignment that you type out things or write anything, I always like you to email it to me and also send it to me before your next class. We go over your homework in class every week from the week before. So it's also kind of smart to have your homework beside you when you come to class too, because maybe I want to call on you one time to share your answers. So that can be a habit that you start forming. Número uno, number one of your tarea, your homework. Cognate challenge assignment. Okay, when I say cognate, I mean words that sound or look exactly like words in English. For instance, fantastico is a cognate. What English word is fantastico? What English word do you think fantastico? Fantastic. See, that means that's a cognate. So it's any word that looks or sounds. That like an English word. Fantastico. That can be your first cognate. So just write down your Spanish cognates that you find. So here's the directions. In a Word or a Google document, please list and number. So please number them 1, 2, 3, 4. As many cognates as you can. Then email me your completed assignment. Part 2 of that assignment is then...
Where do we just like search up Spanish words and then see if they are cognates or not?
You can, yeah. You can find them online. You can find them any way you want. And I want you to write as many down as you can. Please don't copy and paste them. Please try and type them out letter by letter because that's going to help you learn them better. Step 2, after you've written your long list, this is a challenge. We're going to see how many students have the most cognates. After you're done writing your list of cognates, circle or underline your 3 favorite Spanish cognate words that you found. I want you to memorize those 3, practice saying those 3 out loud, and be prepared to share those 3 cognates with our class next week. So you will learn and memorize 3 cognates of your choice.
Cognates are words that sound like English words, but they're just a little different, right?
Exactamente, exactly. So even I have it written here too. They're words that sound or look similar in English as they do in Espanol. And then fantastico is one. Remember how we learned the word color today?
Oh yeah.
Color is a cognate because it looks and kind of sounds like the English word color. Can you guys think of any other cognates right now?
Burrito.
What was the word?
Burrito.
Burrito. Yeah, burrito is, I think it's spelt and sound the same. You can use that though because it's the same in English. Hola kind of looks like hello, right? It does because of the H, Nicola. I said before excelente. That's excellent, right? Very similar. So we're going to start our learning with our cognates. Now, let's scroll down, my
Are there
friends.
specific sites you want us to visit to get these words?
No specific sites. You can do a little search on your own, I think. So if you want to go and Google search, if you want to type in your Google search box cognates, Spanish cognates, even if you wanted, or you could put similar words in English and Spanish in your Google search box. Courtney says delicioso. See, that means delicious. That's a cognate. Sounds and looks like the same. Awesome. Número dos. Let's look at what the other part of our homework is. So scroll down on your lesson, por favor, please. Complete your 3DU scavenger hunt. So whoever didn't complete their scavenger hunt from last week, please do for your homework. So in this classroom, remember you go out of the classroom and turn right and there's an office. And in that office, you'll have an avatar. And click on the secretary in the office and she's going to say the Spanish word. And I want you to have a piece of paper out or a Word document. And you can write down your Spanish word. And then she's going to give you directions in the chat box of where to go next. So remember, to go places in Spanish World, you need to open up your web box on the right-hand side that has the globe in it. And then you will have your all the list of places in Spanish World. Do you have a question?
Didn't we do that last week?
Some of you did, but I know that some of you didn't. So if you didn't do it, then I want you to do it this week for homework instead.
What if we did do it?
If you did do it, please email me your answers. Because that's a homework assignment, right?
So we have to email you
Yes.
what they say?
Yes, please email me. Here, I'm going to put this in a note on your homework right now. Please email me your Spanish words that you got as answers, okay? And you don't have to make it a fancy email. You can just say, hola, Miss Donovan, here are my answers. And then you can give me your answers, okay? Número tres. So look, you're going to join something called Duolingo.
I already have joined, and I finished introduction, and I've started phases.
You are amazing. Good job. So you're going to join this by clicking this, copy and paste this website in your web browser. And that's going to take you and it's going to ask you to join our classroom. And then you're going to follow directions and finish the intro. So
How do you do that on the app?
it should work the same on an app.
I don't know how to join the classroom.
Okay, so you have an app for it. Do you see the letters at the end? TFFNCG?
At the end of the...
At the end of the website I provided in your homework list, there's a www.duolingo.com, and then at the end there's some letters.
Señorita Donovan or Miss Donovan?
Yeah.
I've already been in Duolingo for quite a while because I was learning Spanish in grade 4.
Nice.
I'm already at shopping.
Cool. So, I wonder how we can do that. Maybe
Well,
you can send me...
the lessons because
Pardon?
I can read in the lessons because I'm pretty much level 1 on every one except for intro.
Cool. Maybe we can figure out a way for me to be able to see what you've been doing and how you've been doing on those things throughout the year.
I think there's a way to kind of like add friends to your Duolingo thing.
Oh, that's a good idea. Maybe you can try adding me, Mercedes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you got added by username.
Okay. What's my username? Let me get back to you about that. And we can figure out how to do that so I can just see how you guys are doing. I like to go in and check on you, and sometimes I'll assign something special for you to do for your homework. But I want you to start your intro on this. So join Duolingo and then start your intro.
I can just email you a screenshot.
Yes, please.
Where's the test scores? I'm in the app right now, so I don't know where to go to get the test scores, so I can screenshot it.
You don't need to screenshot yours, Jaden, because you're going to join my classroom, so I'm going to be able to see what you did. You don't need to screenshot, but thank you. My friends, let's talk about number 4 of your homework, and then we're going to have time for questions, and then we're going to pray, because it's almost 2:30. Número 4. Number 4, practice saying some Spanish greetings to your family and friends this week. When you're at the dinner table, I challenge you to use some Spanish words like gracias or por favor. You could say good morning to your parents, buenos dias. You could say good night, buenas noches. Those kinds of things. Any preguntas? Any questions, mis amigos?
Where's the link? I can't see the link in the assignment.
Are you looking at the lesson right now?
Yep.
The lesson homework, it's number 3.
Number 3.
Go down. It's kind of a lot of writing. It's in red, the link.
The Codename challenge assignment?
That's your first assignment. Keep going down, 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 and then stop when you get to red. It's at the bottom.
How to join Duolingo classroom?
Yes, that's then the next thing we have in red there is the link to join.
1 moment.
Okay? If you have any problems with that, let me know. You have the week to figure it out. Do you guys have any other questions? Preguntas? Okay. Let's say a prayer, and then I'll hang out for a couple minutes, but you will be dismissed after your prayer. So just stop what you're doing, please. Close your eyes, and let's take a minute for Jesus. Dear Jesus, thank you so much for this day. Thank you for these amazing kids, God. Thank you for our beautiful brains that can grow and learn, and that we can just come together here as a group of believers and learn the beautiful language that you created. I bless these kids. I hope that you bless them during this week and keep them safe and happy. In Jesus' name, amen. If you agree, please type or say amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Okay, mis amigos. Have the most amazing day. Email me with questions, and I'm going to hang out here for about 5 minutes if you guys have anything to say. Okay, adios. You're dismissed.